I'm not gonna lie, I just tested the acoustics in my room so as to check if my roommate can hear me talking to myself. Hello! I come to you from my new apartment. As you can see, this is a new place. It's a mess right now, so no room tour, okay? Okay, youngins? No room tour. So I'm going to kick off the Vlogtember month and talk about endings. So I really like a good ending. I like an ending that gets you thinking and gets you ruminating. A good ending breaks your heart so that you can heal and become stronger and better for it. A good ending includes, and is not limited to, Catcher in the Rye, The Great Gatsby, even Looking for Alaska. I consider that a pretty good ending. And to add in a short story, The Cathedral by Raymond Carver. If you have not read that short story, do it now. I bet it's online because it's kind of an old short story. It's really good. It should be required reading for life. The caveat to liking a good ending is that it affects the way you read. It affects the kinds of books that you like. Even if a book is solid for 299 pages out of 300, that last 300th page needs to pay off. It needs to be good for me to like it. If it's not good, I'm not gonna like it. That sounds really fickle and silly, but you know, hear me out. Hear me out. For instance, I got sucked into the hype of reading We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. Don't get me wrong, it's a really great book. It has a really interesting and original plot, and the main character is deeply wounded and deeply complex, and it's just a really fascinating read. And when I talk about the ending of We Were Liars, I'm not talking about the twist. I'm not sure if that's a spoiler, but yeah, I'm not talking about that. I thought that was wonderful. I thought it broke my heart, and I thought it was going to be one of those books that I would call one of my favorite books of all time. But then the last few pages happened, and it made me confused. I mean, the last few pages didn't really match up with the book and didn't really feel like the book was culminating up until that point. It just didn't make sense to me. Well, I think it was trying to resolve things, but it could have had a stronger ending. That's what I'm saying. In short, the book just didn't leave me anything substantial to have and to hold on to, if that makes sense. I mean, you'd have to read the book in order for you to understand what I'm saying. Since I can't tell you the spoilers of We Are Liars and use that as an example because that is unfair, I'm just going to use a furniture metaphor. And it's kind of because I don't have any furniture in my room currently, and that's what I'm thinking of right now. Alright, let's say you're going to a furniture store and you're looking to buy tables, right? You're looking to buy tables. You go into the table section, you see all the array of tables, and then you find two that you really like because they're oddly similar to each other, at least from afar, and you compare prices. So one table's a couple $100s cheaper than the other table, and since they look the same, you might as well just buy the cheaper one, right? Right. So you take the cheaper one home and it looks nice and you're satisfied with it. And then time passes. You find that the legs of the table don't really match up together, and so it kind of tips over and rocks a little bit, and that's pretty annoying, especially when you're eating your mac and cheese, because mac and cheese time is very holy and sacred. And the polish on top of the table is just kind of tarnishing really early on, and you're like, what's going on here? And also you find out later that there was like a voodoo curse put on the table, so every time you bring guests over, they stub their toe into the table. And you know that toe stubbing is the worst of all curses. At least the voodoo kind. In short, maybe it would have been a better investment to buy the more expensive table, so maybe you could avoid toe stubbing and the rocking of the table and the tarnishing of the polish of the table. Does the polish of tables tarnish? I don't know, I kind of made that up. So let me bring it back to books with disappointing endings. So that table that was cheap and has a voodoo curse on it, that is a book with a bad ending. And so a book with a good ending is a good table that will last you a lifetime and you're thankful that you bought it. Bad ending is short-term satisfaction, good ending is long-term satisfaction. So why is a good ending important to us as human beings? Because, of course, we venerate the books that we think are really good books and have really excellent endings. See all the required reading for school and all the books that we nominate for prizes and the books that actually win prizes. Those books, I would say, most of the time have really solid endings. Hold on to your hats and glasses because we're gonna get philosophical. As a writer myself, I often think about why good endings are important, and I do kind of have a theory, and it's sort of leaning towards existentialism. So human beings kind of have this really annoying knack of wondering why we exist on this planet, e.g. all the wars that have a basis on religion, which is probably most of them. And I think that good endings signify that there was a point at starting a story to begin with. There was a point to the story. Good endings live on far after it's ended. So a good ending in a book is kind of like a reflection, in a way. Humans wish to live their life like a good book. A good book with a good ending, so that maybe they'll be remembered, they'll be loved, and they'll be shared. So what do you think about books with good endings or with bad endings? Do you care? Am I the only one who cares? If I'm the only one who cares, this is kind of a huge psychological test about me and my psyche. Let me know your thoughts below, especially if you disagree with me. That would be a really great discussion. Well, this finishes day 2 of Vlogtember, and if you didn't know, I am vlogging every day for the month of September. Well, I will see you tomorrow with another video. It'll probably be a tag video, because I gotta get cracking on those. So, bye! So Veda is vlog every day, August and April. So Vadesep,